Well, hello, YouTubians. Welcome back to the old barbecue trucker. We're going to do something a little different in this video. We are going to make a mash. Some people call it a wash. Some people call it a beer. We're not making beer. We're going to ferment some grain. We're going to get some grains and some sugars, and we're going to get the natural sugars out of the grains, and we're going to ferment them and make a mash that will eventually be put in a still and run and make a bourbon whiskey. I'm not going for quantity. I'm going for quality. So I used about only 5 pounds of sugar, corn sugar, uh, when in the past I'd used 10. But I'm not going for quantity. I am going for quality. And by the way, let me go ahead and just put the disclaimer on here. I'll try to find a picture I have. But anyway, don't try this at home. you know. Uh, It can get dangerous, but if you do it right, it won't. But in a lot of places, it's against the law. And straighten this here. There we go. Didn't want to seem crooked. Anyway, God bless America. Um, so anyway, just if you want to learn about where I learned most of my stuff, moonshine and making moonshine, go to the YouTube channel Barley and Hops. That's old George Duncan, and he's a wealth of information. I mean, I can't describe it. Hundreds of videos, and they're all good. I learned basically what I've learned from him. I've called him 3 or 4 times. He's answered the phone every time. He's always polite and has given me good advice. So anyway, y'all didn't tune in to watch me sit here and talk. Y'all tuned in to watch me make a bourbon whiskey mash, and that's what's coming up. Oh wait, I've got to get this in because I'll forget to if I don't. One thing a lot of people do, and there's all different ways and all that, but if you're going to ferment to make a beer, make a wine, a whiskey, a gin, vodka, whatever, don't go to the feed store and get your grain. That is animal quality grain, which is a lot of it has minerals and vitamins put in it, and that'll, especially like with sweet feed. If you want to do a sweet feed, I will try to find a link for it and put on one of the upcoming videos, if not this one, where you can go and buy the sweet feed that's food grade, and it doesn't have the minerals and vitamins. The minerals and vitamins, they'll make your moonshine have the kick of 2 Missouri mules, an Arkansas mule, and then some. And so it's just not pleasant for your moonshine. So anyway, all your grains, all the grains I got they're like food quality grains. I ordered everything off of Amazon. You get everything you need to do this off of Amazon. And to me, it's a very, very fun hobby. I do not sell ever, will not sell any moonshine. And I just, I don't hardly drink it either, to be honest with you. Just when I'm socializing with some friends every once in a while, and I just give it away. But like I say, it's a hobby, and I'm not going for quantity. I'm going for quality. And I'm hoping this secret grain recipe, which I'm going to call, it's going to be called probably Mongo's double distilled. Maybe not Mongo, but it's going to be a double distilled triple grain bourbon. Let's hope it comes out good. But anyway, I did want to say that don't go buy sweet feed and ferment it and all that. It's got minerals and vitamins in it you don't need. Always use food grade quality grains, and it's like George says, this whole thing's a 3-legged stool. It's 3 processes. One of the processes breaks down, the stool falls. Same thing with your moonshine. And George will tell you what they are. Go sit with George. I can't remember exactly technique, ingredients, process, I believe is what it is. But anyway, you're going to see my technique, and there could be different techniques for doing this. You'll see my technique of making this mash. The next mash that we'll make, I probably am going to make, what I'm planning on doing is doing a sweet feed. food grade. Ordered from a company where it's going to be nothing but food grade quality grains. And it'll have molasses in it too. Anyway, so well, let's get on with making bourbon whiskey mash on this episode of the Barbecue Trucker. Well, hello and welcome back to the Barbecue Trucker. What you're looking at is all the ingredients that we're going to need to make a mash. And this mash is going to be, let me make sure it's not zoomed. Okay, it's not. All right, we've got, if you look right here, we've got rice hulls. And on this one, flaked corn. This one here, 2-row barley. It's already milled, as you can see in there. This is already flaked, so you don't got to worry about it. These you don't got to do nothing with. This is the secret ingredients. This is 2 pounds of a secret grain that I used my blender because I bought it whole and I had to break it up. And we'll get all that going. We're going to strain off the best we can. And this here is 10 pounds of glucose, corn sugar, glucose. So I prefer to use that. It melts a lot better. I'm not going to put it in until I start drawing liquid off of the grains. I don't want the grains to absorb as much of my sugar. So anyway, that's what's going to be coming up. What we'll do is, let me go ahead and get it started because I got to go in. There's my fermenter. I got to go inside and wash my, that's like a, I think it's a 6.9 gallon. I don't know. Let's just see. Okay. No, it's a 7.8 gallon bucket. So that I'm going to make 5 gallons of mash. This is my old Chinese pot still. If y'all, anyone who knows me remembers it from a while back. It made a couple of really good batches and it made a couple of mediocre batches. But anyway, I'm gonna I've got some Sparkletts purified water, and there's 5 gallons of water right there. I'm gonna put like 3.5 gallons in here, start getting my grain in here and getting my grain cooked, and I'm gonna hopefully use the rest of it to sparge the grain. In other words, rinse the grain. So okay, we'll be back. I'm going to go ahead and get that started, go in and wash the bucket, because we're going to have to heat that up to 200 degrees, and once we get the grains in there, it's going to have to cook for 90 minutes. But anyway, that's coming up on this edition of the Barbecue Trucker. Okie dokie, back here on the Barbecue Trucker. Okay, well, we got the water to boil in, so that's fine because it's going to cool down a little bit. It's going to cool down a little bit when there we go, when I add the grain and stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add, I'll add it half at a time here, but let's go ahead and do about half of our flaked corn. I'm going to pause it because I can't do it with one hand. And I'll be right back. Okay, I have added, trying to grab it with pushing the button. I've added the corn, all 5 pounds. I thought I was going to do half and half. And I thought, no, I'll just add 5. Now then, we're going to do real carefully. We're going to stir that up. So you got to be careful or it'll fly right out of there. We're stirring that corn up. Oh, it smells good. Okay. Now then, you see there's little clumps in there. Well, those will get broke up, especially after we add a half a pound of rice hulls. I'm going to put it right on in there. There we go. And Turn our scales off for the moment. All right, let's get those incorporated. Okay, I'm going to get these incorporated real good, then we're going to put it back on the cooker, and we're going to cook it. Oh, I'm also going to add, hang on, I'm going to add 2.5 pounds of sugar. We're going to put corn sugar in it. We're going to put 5 pounds, and I'm going to add 2.5 pounds in it for now, and I'll add the other 2.5 pounds a little bit later. Okie dokie. I'll tell you what, y'all, I wish we had smell-o-vision. Y'all would love the smell of this sweet corn with that little bit of sugar I put in there. Okay, we've cooked the corn for a little over 90 minutes, around 190 degrees, and as you'll notice, I want you to notice how thick, look at that, how thick it is. It's just, you know, it's like cream style corn thick. You know, let me, there, you can see how thick it is. Okay. The reason I wanted you to see that is because, and the reason it's so thick is because we've cooked the starches out of the corn. Okay, we've gotten the most we're going to get out of our corn. So now we're going to need to break those starches down to fermentable sugars, which will really thin the mash out a lot too. And we can do that one of several ways. One, we could put what's called alpha amylase. You can get it, you can buy it from, I've got everything I've got for this off Amazon. You can get it there too. It's a powder you put in however much it calls for, but I do it the natural way because 2-row malted barley has all the natural amylase in it you need to break that down. And I have measured out 2 pounds of it, which I'm going to introduce to this batch. But first, let's set you down for just a second. Okay, we're going to add the secret grain, the secret ingredient. Oh, you ought to smell it. It's so earthy. Oh, it's going to give such an earthy character to this. This should be a good bourbon. We're going to add 2 pounds of it. This didn't come milled, so I had to mill it in my blender. And we're just going to sprinkle that on there. There's a whole jar there. We got another 3/4 of a jar, but hang on. Let's get it incorporated. Look at it changing the color. That's what I wanted it to do. I wanted it to change the color. Oh, you ought to smell this. Oh, it almost smells like coffee in a way, but I promise you that was not coffee. All right, let's put the rest of that in there. We'll let that set for a little. This is going to have to set for a while. Like probably till in the morning before I pitch the yeast. Let's see, there we go. Oh man, I think that secret ingredient's going to be the trick there. It's going to give it a good woodsy, earthy character. Now you see how thick that is. Whoa, be careful. We'll make a hell of a mess if we don't not careful. Y'all do see how thick that is. Okay, we're going to let her just sit like that because, oh, that smells so wonderful. Now we're going to add the malted 2-row barley that was milled. I already had it milled. And let's add... we're going to add about 1/4 of that. This bucket's getting full quick. Alrighty. Let's add another good portion of that 2-row barley, malted, already milled. Now let's add the rest of it. It's already thinning down somewhat. In about 20 minutes, it'll really be thin. Now that's good incorporated. It really already thinned down quite a bit. And oh, you ought to smell it. It's really going to smell delicious here in a few minutes, because like I say, I changed my mind. I was going to put 10 pounds, and I'm just going to put 5 pounds because I want quality over quantity. Let me measure up 5 pounds of corn sugar to add to it, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I may have said I was going to add 5 pounds. I meant to say I was going to add another total of 5 pounds. I already had to put 2.5 pounds in, so I put 2.5 pounds in, and I have stirred it up, but I'm going to give it one more good stir. Look how much thinner it is already. See how much thinner it is already? Isn't that amazing? All that's going to become fermentable sugars. Now I just got to let it cool down, stir it a couple of times, and I'll probably let it set overnight, cover it up, and pitch the yeast tomorrow. I don't know. I'll check the temperature here in a little while, but we'll see. But anyway, so now we've got all the ingredients in it except for our yeast nutrient and our yeast, and we'll do that as the temperatures. It can't be above 95 degrees. I'll even do it above 90. I like the water temperature to be in the 70s or so. And then that way that yeast gets a good robust start. See you in a little bit. Well, hello, and we're back. Okay, I let it sit overnight, and I also made another change to the plans here of I'm just going to leave the grain in it. I made a couple of batches ago that turned out outstanding, and I've already started for the day, and now we're gonna. It's got 4 gallons of water in it, and so I'm going to need to add some more. Let me see if I can get a hold of my phone without pushing a button. All right, and I'm going to dump it from up here, and there's one main reason why I'm doing this. See all them bubbles? I'm instilling oxygen in it. That way it's good and oxygenated, because I'm fixing to pitch the yeast. Okay, the other half gallon we'll wait until when we're fixing to put it in the still and sparge with it. Okay, now then, first thing I have got measured out, some yeast nutrient. Measured out for a 5-gallon batch. There we go, that goes in there. That's going to give those yeast, that's like putting Miracle Grow in your plants. That's going to give them yeast a good start. Let's get that all incorporated. All right. Now then, let's just to make sure. I mean, we said all night, so we should be okay. Let's see. There we go. Got it. We will check the temperature. $84 degrees. Okay, that's good. That's real good. Alrighty. Now then, I've measured out the yeast. I put a little extra. It's not going to hurt nothing. Let's go ahead and sprinkle that just lightly across the top. Okay, we're going to just carefully stir it in. There we go. Now it's totally incorporated. And there's two things left to do. Spin back around. Sorry, didn't mean to make you dizzy. All right, we're gonna cap her off. All the way around, get it good. It's not gonna matter. We're gonna open it several times a day to do a stir. And oh, I hope I didn't knock it over. I did. Okay. Let's see here. Still got enough water in it. Good, it didn't spill out. See, we've got an airlock here. We're gonna put on it. It's got and all that. And then once these yeasts get to going, they'll start producing carbon dioxide. I'm gonna put it right here. There we go. Now then, when's it gonna be done, you ask? Well, the most correct answer is it'll be done when it's done. Okay, it's gonna be 7 to 10 days. It's not for impatient man, but it'll be fine to, till my still should get here in about a month or so. And it'll be fine until then. Okay, now as you can see, if it'll focus, no action yet. Trust me, you'll see some action here in a little while. Once some yeast get to going. I'll even show you that too at the end of this video. Okay, like I say, we're all set now. This is going to be a bourbon mash. Or it is a bourbon mash. Okay, talk to y'all later. Well, after about an hour and a half, as you can see, the yeast has started working, producing carbon dioxide. It'll get even more than that, violent than that, I imagine, once they get going. But anyway, the starting stages of what I hope to be a really good bourbon whiskey. Stay tuned. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. And like I said in there, if you're not a patient person, it's probably not a hobby for you, because that's going to take. Now, once I get a few more fermenters, the nearly 8-gallon buckets or whatever, those are the cheapest way to go. You can get some deals called fast fermenters, but they're like $100 expensive. And you can do the same thing in these. I can have several mashes going at one time. That way, when I want to run, I don't have just one mash to run. It'll keep for a long time. But anyway, like I say, I cannot stress this enough. Don't go down and buy the. I know I did it. My first batch I made, I went down and bought cornmeal in the bag. But if you look at it, it's enriched and it's got vitamins and minerals. I used regular table sugar, and it made a big old batch of alcohol. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it was not the most pleasant. So anyway, it's like I say, your ingredients, what goes in is what's going to come out. If you've got bad ingredients, you're going to have bad wash or mash, which is going to relate into a bad moonshine. So that, and also, please watch all videos, learn all the safety tips about if you're going to do this about running a still, because you are producing a volatile liquid. And but as you'll see when I get my still in that I've ordered, how safe it really can be. And because I could, if I wanted to, set up right here in the kitchen and run a batch and not even worry about. But I'm gonna do it out in the man cave. Anyway, okay. like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Ring the little notification bell, ding ding. There'll be more interesting videos coming up. We'll do some actual barbecue videos. I might have some in the queue that I can edit up and see. We'll just see. We'll just see. But anyway, like I say, thank y'all for liking, watching, subscribing. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment on here. Send me an email to thebarbecuetrucker@gmail.com, the BBQ Trucker. There'll be a link on the deal right down there for that. So anyway, y'all have a good one. God bless America. God bless y'all. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. Oh, by the way, let me show you my new item here. You might can see it's sparkling right there or whatever. But anyway, that is and I got two of it. It came with two of them. It was like $19, $20 with tax and all that. Read a rest. Saw the guy on YouTube. When I ordered it, he sent me a personal message too. That was really cool. He walked out and just fell and kind of rolled over in a somersault and got up and goes, well, at least my glasses stayed where they were supposed to. It's got incredibly strong magnets. I'm talking about these are the strongest magnets I've ever seen in my life. And you can put that on there, bend over, whatever. The glasses will stay right there. Read a rest. Okay. I get no money for that. I just thought I'd tell you. I get no money for drinking. You don't even know what I'm drinking. Actually, I'm drinking HEB Snickerdoodle coffee today. We're going to be switching back to some Texas pecan on the next batch. Okay. Thanks again for liking, subscribing, watching, and tuning in to the Barbecue Trucker. Sure do appreciate that. And until the next video, as old George says, give you a little piece of advice here. Never take a sleeping pill and a laxative at the same time. The results are predictable, but uncontrollable. Y'all have a good one. See you in the next video.